Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. My friends, today I'm going to be discussing something very interesting, and it pertains to the upcoming presidential election. The presidential election is something that so many people are talking about. And if you are someone like me who pays attention to politics, who is always keeping track of the latest developments in the world of politics, who's always paying attention to the polls, who's always watching the news and keeping track of the current affairs, then obviously today's episode is going to be an interesting one. My friends, Donald Trump has reportedly made a decision about who he is going to pick as his running mate. Reportedly, Donald Trump was asked if he has decided on his vice presidential pick, and this happened at a campaign stop in Philadelphia recently. And reportedly Trump said, and these are his words, reportedly he said, "In my mind, yeah." Those are his words. So Trump indicated clearly that in his mind, he has decided who he is going to pick as his running mate. My friends, Donald Trump further added that the person who he picked for vice president will most likely be at Thursday's debate. And what debate are we talking about? The first presidential debate of the 2024 election cycle, the debate between Trump and Biden. That's the debate that's coming up on Thursday. And so it's very interesting to know that Trump's VP pick will most likely be at the debate on Thursday. My friends, over the last few months, many names have been discussed. Many names have been discussed, and political analysts and political commentators and personalities on TV, have mentioned different names, and lots of analysis took place about who is the perfect candidate for Trump. Who is he going to pick? Is it going to be a man? Is it going to be a woman? Is it going to be a governor? Is it going to be a senator or a House member? Who is it going to be? And, the discussion is still going on. And I think we're just maybe days away from finding out who that individual will be. Now, I can tell you that most recently Glenn Youngkin's name came up, and I was actually very happy when I saw Glenn Youngkin's name being mentioned as a possible VP pick. Mr. Youngkin obviously is the governor of Virginia, and I remember when he won that election, the gubernatorial election, that was such an amazing victory. Such an amazing victory. And having a Republican governor in a state like Virginia, in a blue state, it's really wonderful. I mean, that election was just amazing. Okay, so Youngkin is the GOP governor of Virginia. If Youngkin is on the ticket, Trump may win Virginia. And this is, if that happens, it's just going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. Virginia has 13 electoral college votes. Okay, and most analysts you talk to will likely say that the Democrat candidate for president will win Virginia. But if Trump picks Glenn Youngkin as his running mate, and Glenn Youngkin has already won a statewide election in Virginia. So if Glenn Youngkin is on the ticket with Donald Trump, there is a possibility that the Trump-Youngkin ticket may win Virginia, may win the 13 electoral college votes from Virginia. If that happens, as I said, it's going to be wonderful. My friends, I saw a nice photo of Youngkin and Trump from their recent meeting, and they looked great. Reportedly, they discussed issues such as energy and then inflation and trade, and when I saw that picture being circulated on the internet, I thought, well, has Trump decided to pick Glenn Youngkin? I still don't know. We don't know that, right? But that is a strong possibility. Now, the names of J.D. Vance and Doug Burgum have also been mentioned. J.D. Vance obviously is the U.S. Senator from Ohio. Doug Burgum is a governor, and so, governor of North Dakota. And, it could be J.D. Vance. It could be Doug Burgum. We don't know. Lots of questions, not enough answers. Now, Tim Scott is another name that many analysts have discussed. U.S. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. I think he has a great personality. I have not met Tim Scott in person, but based on my observation, having seen him on TV and from the speeches that I've heard from his performance on the debate stage when he was running for president, and just having the knowledge of the political world, I think Tim Scott is going to be a great VP pick. And I think he'll have a great working relationship with Trump. So it could be Tim Scott. We don't know. And then the other question is Donald Trump going to pick a governor or a member of Congress? And member of Congress could mean a House member or a member of the U.S. Senate. And, depending on who you're talking to, different people will have different recommendations. Obviously, somebody who is a governor is in the executive branch of state government, and somebody who is a member of Congress, whether in the House or in the Senate, is part of the federal government's legislative body. And the question is, do you want somebody with executive decision-making experience, which would be a governor, or do you want somebody with skills to navigate the legislative process? That would be a member of Congress. Now, remember, when Trump picked Mike Pence, that was a great selection because Pence had both experience. Pence is a former member of Congress, and at the time that Trump picked Pence, he was the governor of Indiana. So Pence knew Congress very well, and Pence also had experience as a governor. And so with Mike Pence, Trump had a running mate with both skills in navigating the legislative process and also somebody with experience in the executive branch of state government. So, this time also the question comes up, is it going to be somebody who is a governor, or is it going to be somebody who is a member of Congress? So if it's Doug Burgum, he's a governor. If it's Youngkin, he's a governor. If it's J.D. Vance, he's a U.S. Senator, meaning he's a member of Congress. If it's Tim Scott, he's a U.S. Senator, meaning he's a member of Congress. Other names have also been mentioned. Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota. Byron Donalds, congressman from Florida. And then someone like Vivek Ramaswamy. And his name has also been mentioned, and there are many voters out there who would like to see Vivek Ramaswamy as the running mate. Now, Vivek Ramaswamy did not serve in Congress. He was not the governor of a state, but he's a businessman. And Trump is also a businessman. So Vivek has the experience in the business world, the real life. And then also, let me point out that if Vivek is selected for vice president, then, it's going to be pretty amazing because he's very young. When you look at the political world and you look at the U.S. senators and the governors, and you compare, the age, you look at the age range, then Vivek is really very young. And so if it's Vivek, then he's probably going to be able to bring a lot of new energy into the race, and I think that'll be great. I mean, Vivek performed really well during the debate when the GOP presidential debates were taking place. Vivek did pretty well. So some people think that it's time for the newer generation to be included in the ticket, and so that would be Vivek. So we're going to have to wait and see. Tulsi Gabbard is another name that has been discussed a lot. Tulsi Gabbard left the Democratic Party. She was a Democrat member of Congress. She is no longer a member of Congress, and she has also left the Democratic Party. But Tulsi Gabbard did not become a Republican. She is an independent. Now, I had the opportunity to meet Tulsi Gabbard because she visited Wisconsin not too long ago. And it was a pleasure meeting her. She's got a great personality and speaks very well and connects really well with the people. So Tulsi Gabbard's name has been mentioned, but the fact that Tulsi Gabbard remains an independent and she's not officially a Republican, that may be an issue. That may be an issue because I think the Republican voters would want somebody who is a Republican. And so having an independent, well, I know there are people out there who would argue in favor of picking a former Democrat who walked away from the Democrat Party and now is an independent. I think somebody can make a case in favor of picking Tulsi Gabbard specifically for that reason, that she walked away from the Democratic Party and she became an independent. But then again, when you look at the Republican base, I think there are many political party activists and strategists and volunteers and supporters who would like to see a solid Republican on the ticket as Trump's running mate. And so if you consider that, then Tulsi Gabbard may not be on the ticket, but then I don't know what Donald Trump is thinking, what kind of political calculation, is being looked at. I mean, really at this point, all we know is that Trump made up his mind, but we don't know who he selected. And the only clue we have is that the individual who he picked in his mind, will most likely be at the debate on Thursday. So that's all we know, but that gives us enough material to continue our conversation, to continue with the discussion, and to try to do some analysis and to try to figure out, okay, who is he going to pick? It's something that people are going to be talking about between now and the day of the presidential debate. But then again, Trump did not say that he's going to announce on the day of the debate. I think we are likely to find out who Trump's running mate will be. I think we're likely to find out, as we get closer to the Republican National Convention, which is going to be taking place next month in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I don't think that in the month of June, we're going to know who Trump has picked for VP. We may have a better idea. Maybe, as we do analysis, people may be able to, narrow down the list to maybe like 2 or 3 individuals. But then again, we may not know for sure. But we will find out as we get closer to the Republican National Convention. And time flies really fast. And in the wink of an eye, the Republican National Convention day will arrive. And I think we'll find out. I'm eagerly waiting for that announcement. So, that's also something that I think Trump mentioned reportedly, and I totally forgot about it for a second. Reportedly, Trump said that he plans to announce the name of his running mate right around the convention. So that's being reported. So that means right around the convention right around the time for the convention, we're going to know who the running mate is. And I am excited. As a Wisconsinite, I am excited because the Republican National Convention is going to be taking place in my state, in Wisconsin, in the city of Milwaukee. So I'm very excited about that. My friends, there's something else I want to talk about. I think it's important for all of us to keep in mind that the position of the vice president is sort of a pathway to the presidency. That's not always the case, but it is a pathway to the presidency. So whoever is the vice president has a pathway to the presidency. Now, let me talk about what happened in the case of Mike Pence. When Trump picked Mike Pence for VP, I think a lot of people expected that Mike Pence, after Trump completes 2 terms, because the Republicans were hoping he would complete 2 terms, and obviously 2020, the outcome was not favorable, and so Joe Biden became the president. But Republicans are hoping and praying, Republicans like myself, were hoping and praying that Trump gets elected to office for a 2nd term. And so, okay, going back to Mike Pence, I just wanted to say that, a lot of people thought when Trump picked Pence for VP, a lot of people thought that Trump's going to complete 2 terms in office and then maybe Mike Pence will be the president after that. But then again, that didn't happen. And obviously, Mike Pence and Donald Trump are not the best friends at present, given the reality of the political given the political reality right now. He was the VP. He was a very successful VP, Mike Pence, and then he ran for president. But as we know, in 2024, which is the current cycle, Mike Pence ran for president, but his campaign did not gain much momentum. And so Mike Pence served as VP, but then he was not successful in pursuing the support of the American people to become the president. But then again, we know that being the vice president is the closest that a person can get to the presidency. And so, coming back to the present day, whoever Donald Trump picks for VP, that individual may be the person who ends up running for president in the next presidential election. So, is it going to be Glenn Youngkin? Is it going to be Tim Scott? Is it going to be J.D. Vance? Is it going to be Doug Burgum? Is it going to be Kristi Noem? Is it going to be Byron Donalds? Is it going to be Vivek Ramaswamy? Some people have also mentioned the name of Marco Rubio. Is it going to be Marco Rubio? Is it going to be Sarah Huckabee Sanders? I don't know. I'm sure that Donald Trump will make the right decision. But what I do know is that whoever Trump picks for VP, after Trump wins the election, because I'm hoping that he will win the election. So if Trump wins the election, and after he wins the election, after he serves for 4 years, which would be his 2nd term, and I'm hoping and praying every day that Trump wins. So whoever he picks for VP, after Trump completes his 2nd term in office, that individual, the running mate, the VP, will probably be the next most popular person for the presidency from the Republican side. And so it's important to keep that in mind. And it's important for Donald Trump to pick a running mate who will be capable and who will be able to, go on and run for president after Trump completes his 2nd term. That individual could run for president and, hopefully become the president, if Republicans win. So my question to you is, what I want to tell you is that, you should ask yourself, who would you like to see as the GOP president after Trump concludes his second term in office? And, whatever name you come up with, that's probably the person who should be, the running mate now. Okay, is it going to be Sarah Huckabee Sanders? She worked in the Trump White House, had a great working relationship with the president. Could be Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I know her name has been mentioned. Could be Glenn Youngkin. We don't know. But whoever it is, that person may end up pursuing the presidency, launching a campaign for president after Trump completes his second term. So let's talk about the upcoming presidential debate between Trump and Biden. I am eagerly looking forward to it. And the fact that Trump mentioned that whoever he has in mind as his VP, that individual will most likely be at the debate on Thursday, just that information has significantly increased the importance of the presidential debate that's coming up. Of course, the presidential debate will be a widely watched event. But knowing that Trump's VP pick will most likely be at the debate, I mean, that has further increased the significance, the importance of the presidential debate that's coming up. I am looking forward to it, and people are going to be trying to figure out, who it is. I'll be thinking about it a lot. And so let's talk about the debate. Where will the debate be taking place? It'll be held in Atlanta. It'll be hosted by CNN. Reportedly, the debate will be 90 minutes long. I am eagerly looking forward to it. There are so many important issues that need to be discussed. And I would like to see Trump versus Biden debate. And so Thursday, I've marked the date on the calendar. I'm going to be watching. And so, and between now and the date of the debate, I think I'll be talking about it too. So please stay connected. And I thank you all for continuing to listen to my podcast. If you want to make a guess about who the running mate is going to be, please feel free to share that with me. You can go to my website, tausifanam.net. You can send me a message through my website. You can also email me at the following email address. And my email address is tausif@tausifanam.net. tausif@tausifanam.net. You will also find me on social media. I am on Facebook. I am on X, formerly known as Twitter. I am on Instagram. And I am also on Truth Social. So connect with me, share with me your thoughts, share with me your views and your opinions. If you have questions, ask me your questions, okay? And once again, thank you for continuing to listen to my podcast. I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. Thank you.